That ceremony of you people becoming warriors, that's still there?
It's still there, the culture is still there.
Have you ever killed a lion?
I haven't. I have attempted, but I wasn't very successful.
Maasai children are grazing their cows, while buffaloes are grazing there. Elephants are on the other side. A lion was spotted a kilometer away, and it's a non-issue because we share the ecosystem.
These animals are ours, and they can take care of them even better.
Hello there. Wow, you can see we are all Maasai here. Ma, let me say, Ma, we are looking the real Ma here in the studio. So today we are glad to have Mr. Kevin Lempiris. Kevin Lempiris is an expert in AI, all the way from Canada. I'll tell you more about him. And we have Dr. Teriano Saidimu. That's right, Teriano Saidimu, also from Canada. She's been studying in Canada. And they are gracing our show today. We'll be talking about the Maa culture and their experience abroad. I met them during the Maa Cultural Festival in Kajiado recently, but let me just give them a warm welcome by saying in their language. So Lempiris is from Samburu, and I think you say, Sepa?
Suba, oye.
Suba, and how do I answer?
Oye.
Oye, Suba.
Oye.
Suba. And Teriano is Maasai from Kajiado West. And you say Eva?
Eva.
So
Super, Eva.
Eva.
Yeah,
Suba.
you say super, and then I respond.
Oh, Suba, Eva.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, thank you for teaching me. So I happen to have met our two guests during the Maa Cultural Festival in Kajiado recently. Was it a coincidence, or you had planned, Kevin, to come all the way from Canada to attend the festival? Did it just find you here, or you came for the festival?
We came for the festival.
Wow, both of you?
Both of us, we came for the festival.
Nice.
Yeah.
By invitation?
We were invited by friends from the different counties, and then we wanted to come anyway. And so when we got the invitation, that was a perfect thing to honor.
Wow. It was such a huge event. And Teriano, same?
Yes, I actually had my graduation on Tuesday, the 28th, and on the Friday I flew to Kenya.
You had your graduation in
My
Canada?
PhD graduation in
which
Canada.
city?
Toronto.
In Toronto.
University
Both of you are in
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah. So you say Toronto. Try and say
Toronto.
it. I'll say it
Toronto. If you live in Toronto, you say Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
If you say Toronto, they
That's
may
how
not
we
understand
know
you.
how who lives in Toronto and who doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, people
exactly.
who live in Toronto say Toronto.
Let's go to the festival. It was quite unique. I've attended two in the past, but in this particular one, the management of the Amboselli National Park was being transferred to the county government of Kajiado. And the debate is really very interesting. Now I've been following the debate, and of course the impact of this move. Some think, well, this is very good for not only the locals will benefit from this, also the country, and to promote tourism at large. The others who think this will be the beginning of the mismanagement of Amboselli National Park. What's your view, Kevin?
I think my view is that it's not going to be any mismanagement, because if you look at the counties, these are devolved units, and they've become governments of their own right now. They need revenue, they need to employ people, and they have set up structures in the last 10 to 15 years that they can do now that. And in fact, if you look at the Maasai counties, to be specific, even the Maasai people who live there, they know that now that this is coming to us, even as the community, we have to be responsible for it. Before, when it was being managed by the national government, they didn't really feel that it was theirs. And so, because they knew the revenue and other things would go to the national government, they didn't feel it as their responsibility. But now, being their responsibility, I think the management will even be much better than being left to the national government. And the people just seeing it as another thing, another way of taking their land.
Wow. So there's excitement in the air there.
Yeah, there's excitement. In fact, that day when I met you, I picked some guys at the front of the Serena Hotel and dropped them at the event. And that's the thing that we were discussing. And they were very excited. They are talking about how this is going to pay fees for their kids, how they are going to take care of these animals, these wild animals, like their other animals, because now they know the value of these animals.
Wow. And Daktari, what's your view?
I think I completely agree with Lempiris on that. I think people who say that it's the beginning of mismanagement is people who don't support that. But I think for me, watching that happen, because I was in Narok when the president announced that, it was a very, very good thing, because this is a correction of injustice. Because this thing was taken in the wrong way, and giving it back to the community is very, very good, and there's so much excitement. So I really believe that, you know, the community will own it and be more responsible. They'll feel like this is our animals, this is our park, and they'll take care of it. So I don't believe that this is going to be the beginning of mismanagement. I think the people who say that are people who want to just discourage that. And oftentimes people do that to marginalized communities, and they don't want them to have opportunities. You try to paint them as not good enough or not smart enough to manage.
You two are speaking like the governor, because I had a one-on-one interview with the governor just before that transfer ceremony, and he was so enthusiastic, so passionate about this, and he was saying, we know how to live with the animals, we know how to protect the wildlife. Let's just take a listen and hear what the governor told me.
In the delineation of national parks then and game reserves, areas that were supposed to be preserved for wildlife and wildlife alone were to be called national parks, and they were to be fenced off, and a good number are fenced off. Areas that human settlements and wildlife thrive together were to be national reserves, and they are not supposed to be fenced off, but the communities are supposed to have the say in the management of such spaces. In the 1940s, Amboselli and Masai Mara were called the Southern Game Reserves. But along the way, in the 1970s, out of a squabble between Kajiado leaders, there was a feeling that the park of Amboselli was being run down, and national government took over Amboselli. Since that time, the Maasais have been agitating for the correction of that historical injustice. The management or conservation model that we have now was colonial and archaic. Colonial in the sense that the white man came and said, these Africans do not know how to look after this wildlife. This wildlife must be protected from these Africans because they will eat them, they will kill them. You know, they introduced the concept of conservation with their gun. You know, I was saying the other day, and helicopters to boot. You know, remove the communities that were supporting this wildlife and put asunder on the things that holds us together. We want to show that African conservation works, and it is the right conservation. I give an example, and you have seen it, that Maasai children are grazing their cows while buffaloes are grazing there, elephants are on the other side, a lion was spotted a kilometer away, and it's a non-issue because we share the ecosystem. We live together. One day, a lion eat our cow, inakuwa chakula yake. Another day, we kill one lion, it's not a big deal. The people who have finished animals are those who kill it for trade, not those who kill to protect themselves. Animals do not get extincted by those who kill to protect themselves. Animals are extinct by those who kill to trade with them. We don't trade with animal trophies. We don't eat animals' meat. That is why we live together.
So, Daktari, the governor says that is correction of a historical injustice.
It is. It is a correction of historical injustice. And I think this was an amazing opportunity for the president to make this correction, because people have been lobbying for many years, the community. And people have never really owned this park, because so you see all these animals littering around in your land, because sometimes they go into people's lands, they attack other like domestic animals. People have lost lives, but it's not ours because it's benefiting someone else, but not us. So I think now the community can feel like this is us, this is ours. These animals are ours, you know, and they can take care of them even better.
And that's just Amboselli National Park, Kevin. I think the others that, you know, border or within the Maa community areas. We have, I think, more national parks. We have Masai Mara.
Yeah.
We have game reserves.
We have
Where you come
ranches.
from, ranches where you come from in Samburu.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit. There are national parks and game reserves,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. So, but this is just a bit of what the Maa community can be able to manage. But for you, the governor said, one day a lion kills our cow or our goat and it's okay, it's part of the ecosystem. The other day we'll kill a lion to protect ourselves. Have you ever killed a lion?
I haven't. I have attempted, but I wasn't very successful.
You would say it on camera, right?
Yes, because KWS, wanaweza nikujia.
I mean, you were a warrior though. You became a warrior.
I became a warrior at a young age. I was very young when I was a warrior, and that's the time that I had time to become a warrior. But then, as I was growing older, to be old enough to kill a lion or strong enough to kill a lion, I was a bit distracted by school. Yeah, but warriorism was my main activity. School was a distraction.
That ceremony of you people becoming warriors, that's still there.
It's still there.
That culture.
It's still there. The culture is still there. And I want to go back to a little bit of what the governor has mentioned, because that's very important. It's actually not documented how many lions or how many animals the Maasai kill when they interact with them, but it's very small. It's a very small number.
Right.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Yes, because they blend. They live in the ecosystem with the animals. They know how to avoid animals. Even when an animal attacks you, you know how to avoid an animal. You know how to go to a place where the animals are not in. And the animals actually know how to avoid the Maasai, because they also know that this is one of the animals that could potentially kill us in the savannah. So we don't kill animals, as people might say. And compared to poaching and people who do it for sport, it's a vast difference.
Absolutely.
Vast difference.
As he said, there are those killing for the wrong reasons and enriching themselves.
Yes.
Yet the local communities.
They only kill it to defend themselves. And only when the animal might have killed a lot of people or a lot of animals.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
The governor also went ahead to say wildlife and culture are some of the things that really market Kenya. And tourists come because of culture and wildlife.
Yeah.
And Maasai culture is one of the most marketed outside there. You know, Mzungu in Canada, where you are, they see this and it's Kenya, Kenya. Most tour operators, even Kenyan delegations, when they go abroad, this would be the brand. In the exhibitions, in those booths, you'd find the Maasai culture. But then he's arguing, we are not benefiting much from this. Let's take a listen.
Wildlife and culture are the cornerstones of Kenyan tourism. And who holds them? The Maasai. Who is benefiting from them? Not the Maasais. So it is time for we the Maasai to rightfully take our space and position ourselves correctly to benefit for what rightfully belongs to us. We want to commodify our culture so that dollarization of the same is done by ourselves and not by others, because already many people are making money out of this culture, out of our ushanga, out of our dressing. Even us as Maasai, we are going to take that space.
So as you heard there, the governor is telling the Maa community to take their space, to position themselves to benefit from this marketing of the Maa culture and the wildlife. In what way, in your view, can the Maasai, the Maa community, position themselves to benefit from this? Interesting. Tough question. Eh?
So many things. First of all, for me as a Maa scholar, one of the other things I've noticed is the literature that's written about us. I looked at that and it was shocking, because many of the things that were written about the Maasai are not correct. So we need to take up the narrative by actually going to school ourselves and learning and writing our own stories. So we can take that up. And then in the Kenyan context, I think I agree the Maa culture is the face of Kenya. Everybody wants to wear the jewelry, everybody wants to wear the shuka. I think it's just time for everybody to be supportive of this community. not just, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, Kevin, you heard he said dollarization. We want to do what? That's a very to commercialize and dollarize the Maa culture. So how can that be done? How do we dollarize this Maa culture? Commercialize it?
Yeah. So I think when he says dollarization, he probably means sell Maa culture in dollars and not Kenyan shillings. And then, of course, there's the commercialization part of it, which is, you know, make it commerce, make people come or, like, you know, export it, make it an export to other countries. This is a responsibility that I think mostly lies on the county governments.
That's right.
and not the national government. And I'll tell you why. The culture itself and the artifacts of the culture are hard to commercialize because anyone can make them, right? But the experience of being a Maasai and interacting with the Maasai is something that is what we call in business a competitive advantage, because nobody else outside of Kenya can do that, because you have to come to Kenya, you have to go to a Maasai village, you have to go to a Maasai event to experience that culture. So that's one way the county governments could do. The events like the Maa Festival, Maa Cultural Festival, there are a lot of Maa people, very few white people. I think I probably met maybe 1 or 2 white people. And those are the people who will come with their dollars. We, the diaspora, we might come with some dollars that will convert into Kenyan shillings. It might not be enough. In Samburu, we used to have an event called Mara International Camel Derby. I think it was started initially by a white person. And I remember when I was young, there were a lot of white people who came. And it actually boosted the economy of Samburu Central at the time a lot, because it would be in the thousands.
Okay.
And it would be a few days event. So in terms of the county governments, I think they could do a lot by creating that Maasai experience through events and through the parks that they're getting back now from the national government. And then for all the other Kenyans, it could just be the artifacts.
I think the national government can as well play a big role, because like the Ministry of Tourism is with the national government. They can play a big role, like when it's opening up opportunities to showcase this stuff abroad, then give the Maasai people the opportunity, give the Maa people the opportunity to showcase themselves.
Wow. And actually, you are right, because county government can organize more and more events where you see the selling, I see women selling the beads and so on, can scale it up and dollarize, as the governor said. And also abroad, there can be particular events about the Maa culture, and you turn it into cash, you know, people to pay as they experience the Maa culture. And education, as you said, the more people are learned and studying the Maa culture, writing about it, that's a stream of income, is it?
Yes, yes.
Then the governor also challenged the Maa community to also, you be the ambassadors of the Maa Culture Abroad. And he emphatically said the scholars, people who go abroad, while the Maa culture is selling abroad, but they need you people who are already there, those who are going there, to market it abroad. And I had a question on that subject as well, and let's just hear what he said.
We thank Kenyans in diaspora because they have become almost the biggest industry in Kenya, remitting much more money than our tea and coffee or even our tourism do. So we cannot thank our diaspora enough. But number 2, we tell them that we have opportunities for investment in our conservancies, but we also tell them that we are happy for them to support us in knowledge transfer, connect us to opportunities, and particularly the Maa in diaspora. This is your jewel. You know, your house is talking. The Maa nation is having a conversation. How do you support our aspiration for a stronger Maa nation? One of it will be to write books. We say we want to tell our story. If you hear prejudices about Maasais, we get embarrassed, we as Maasais, because that is not who we are. So those of you who are in diasporas and are scholars, write about our history. You know, join us in correcting history. Join us in strengthening our house. Support us in education, in health, because we know out there in this developed nation, those sectors are much more developed than ours in Kenya.
We are members of the Maa Diaspora organization.
Yeah.
And the Maa Diaspora organization is doing an amazing work. So every year we have our own conference. So we meet.
That is the Canada chapter.
No, across.
All the
Across
chapters.
the world?
Yeah, across the world.
How many members could there be?
There are very many. I don't know how many, but there are many.
Probably
But all
1,000 maybe.
Yeah, all over all over the world. And we meet. We've had our conferences usually in the US, and we go to these places. We have a conference. We sing. We wear our beads, and we talk about the community and how we contribute back home. How we can empower our community back home. And these are amazing people abroad who are so smart, who are so successful, who are working there. They can be Kenyan American, Canadian Kenyan Canadians, or in the UK, all over the world. And it's been really good for us to come together to support each other in the diaspora, but also to support things back home. So when we see a need, we'll come together and raise funds and send it back home to help the community. And we also welcome our leaders. Like the governor have been there, MPs have been there. So we've invited women reps, senators. So, and then we have conversations about the community and about our culture. So the Maa Diaspora is doing a lot of great work. So our last conference was in Seattle.
Yeah.
The other one was in Chicago. So usually we've had them in the US, but our plan is to have.
We have tried to get one in Toronto, but
Yes.
we haven't been successful. We don't have the voting power.
Yeah. So it moves from city to city.
Yeah. And one thing that I have to add to what she says is that Kenyans are also great ambassadors, not just to Kenya, but to the Maa culture. For example, the Kenyan bracelet, the famous Kenyan bracelet. Look at me, I don't have the Kenyan bracelet, but it's a Kenyan bracelet.
I have one.
Yeah.
This one, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost every Kenyan now that you meet abroad wears it. And usually, I think when they're asked about this bracelet, it would lead to a conversation about Maa culture and where you could get it. And usually it's like the amazing women that she's talking about that make those bracelets.
Okay.
I just feel like, honestly, sometimes Maa women are not celebrated enough for their brilliance. I think we need to just speak more. Maybe this is not being biased, but they're.
Why not Maa men?
No, they're the custodians of the culture. They're the ones that make the beads.
Even the male beads.
Homes,
Yeah.
even the houses,
Yeah.
the women make it. So, like, imagine creating all these designs and just thinking about it and doing it with no formal education, not going into a classroom. But obviously, we have our indigenous Maasai education.
Wow, well done, well done. Yeah, as we wind up, let's turn to what you two are known for, and I'll begin with Mr. Lempiris, AI. So you're an expert in AI. In all these discussions, how would your expertise come in? How does it support this culture, promoting culture, preserving culture, promoting Kenya abroad? How does AI help us?
Oof, that's a very loaded question. How can it support Kenya and how can it support the Maa culture? I think, let me start with the Maa culture. She talked about a designer who she brought from, was it Europe or Canada?
It was Canada.
Okay.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To bring here to design different designs for the women and kind of teach them how to think about seasons, think about different colors, and then kind of create that variety and diversity in the artifacts that they built. With AI now, that designer, not everyone will have access to that designer. You'd have to be a PhD level person to be able to convince a great designer to come to Kenya and interact with the women.
Wow.
But with the AI, even the kids that go to school can prompt AI, can ask questions, and can ask questions about different designs. Because it's already been fed with all the data about maybe Maasai culture, maybe not all, but some data. We could feed more data into AI, and we could train maybe Maasai-specific designing models to design for the women different kinds of products that they can make. So that could diversify the products that they make, and that could allow them to reach better markets. And then things like marketing strategies. What AI does is that it democratizes everything, democratizes knowledge, so that it's not just the great designer or the great engineer who has knowledge to build a design or to build something or to do research. Even someone in the village now can go to ChatGPT, and it's widely available, it's free, and they can look for designs, they can look for marketing material, and they can look for ways to commercialize and dollarize their products. So that's one of the things that it can help with.
Wow. And for you, what do you do exactly in Canada using your AI skills?
I'm a part of AI called data engineering. What I do is those models that I built, like ChatGPT. In fact, one of the people, I always tell this story proudly, one of the people who wrote the original letter called the Transformers that ended up building ChatGPT was with me at the University of Toronto. He was doing computer science,
Nice.
and I was doing finance. So what I do is, because AI needs this thing called data, which is just information, you need to collect that data and then you need to clean it to be able to train what's called an AI model with it, and then to create the AI that's user-facing. So I'm usually on the data cleaning part, cleaning the data, building pipelines to get the data to the right place, what's called the cloud, and then from there you can build models on that data.
You're employed?
I'm employed,
In the private sector?
Yes.
Okay. Lempiris went to Canada in 2018. We covered him when he was just beginning his studies at Toronto University. Yeah, and so you can see the fruits of education, the fruits of going abroad, and kudos to the Equity Bank for the Equity Leaders program that has really promoted education and empowered young people who are now experts in AI like Lempiris. And you had other colleagues there. How are they doing? There were how many?
At the time, we were probably about, from the same program, we were about maybe 15 Kenyans. They're very successful right now. Some of them have started companies. Some of them are working in AI actually. Some of them are working in finance. Some of them are back here in Kenya working as doctors. Some of them are back here in Kenya working for Equity Bank in like top finance positions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. And down to still on education, Daktari, and congratulations for being probably, the first Maasai woman in your village. The village is Lodaria,
Yes.
to get a PhD in Canada.
And probably the first Maasai woman in Canada.
Probably the first Maasai woman
In Canada.
in Canada.
We don't know another one yet.
to get
Oh,
a
you want them
PhD.
to come out?
get a
Come
P-
out so
Yeah,
that
if they're there,
we can talk to
then
you.
let them come. Let them come and
I just
claim.
know I'm in my village.
Yeah.
Your area is social justice.
My area, yeah, social justice education is what I do.
When we say social justice, what do you do? What are you using that
We
for?
advocate for change. We advocate for social justice, for people to do things the right way, to be fair. Like what I was like correcting
Historical injustice, like the land issues.
In Amboselli.
This subject we are discussing, the Amboselli and the Maa culture and the wildlife and benefiting from that, correcting historical injustice, that is in your line.
Yeah, and
Yes.
if you're hiring people, you hire people fairly.
You should have been among the speakers when the president was transferring
I
this.
just graduated, so. And we were just like, we just arrived.
Yeah, we just arrived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
And so for you will inspire so many. At least we know how Kevin went to Canada through a program by Equity Bank. For you, how did it happen?
I went to Canada 17 years ago. So I did my undergrad in Canada and my master's, and I had just got an opportunity to go to university through some friends.
Friends contributed?
No, I was invited to Canada through a church. And then I went to university, and then I started doing very well.
How did you pay your fees?
Actually, I ended up getting scholarships all along. So I was supported through the university to do my undergrad. Master's was full scholarship, and my PhD was fully funded.
Wow. Yeah.
So my job was always to keep my ace.
Wow.
To make sure I get good grades.
So what was your
Because if you
first?
get good grades, it's easy to get scholarships.
What was your first degree?
My first degree was social work.
Which university?
Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly Ryerson University.
Okay. Are you going back to Canada? You came here for holiday. Are you still, working there, or you came for good?
You know what?
You came for good, or you are gonna?
That's a very tough question because
I know.
people say it's the end of education. What do you want to say?
Yeah.
So where do you work?
If she gets great opportunities in Kenya, of course, this is always home. The one thing that diaspora people, and I'm answering for most diaspora people, the one reason why they don't come to
home.
Kenya, or it takes them time to come back to Kenya and contribute to our beautiful country, is because when you come here, you don't get the right opportunities. And the opportunities are there, but they are not being given to the right people. So it's hard. It's hard. You can come, you maybe probably start from scratch, but it's hard to come back to Kenya and leave a great opportunity, like she would be a professor, and then not get the opportunities that are there that you are qualified for. But yeah.
So if you got the right opportunity, home is the best.
Home is always the
Always.
best.
East or
It
west, home is the best.
Home is where the heart is.
Are you gonna come back,
Home is
Kevin?
very-
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, 100%.
We
Yeah.
all want to come home.
So-
Everybody wants to come.
Are you employed, or you? on your-
I've just finished my PhD, so I'm doing like research, and then I'm figuring out the next move.
The next move.
Yes.
You may remain there, you may come back Kenya. to
And there's a
Kenya.
lot of things I'm doing already in Canada, so I'm going back in January for a bit, and then I'll figure out. But I'm actually I love home.
Wow.
I love Kenya,
Wow.
and I feel like I've been away from my family for a long time. My parents are elderly now. It's nice to see them and be close. So, but I'm able to travel sometimes back and forth. So we'll see. What
Wow.
he's saying is the truth.
Wow.
A lot of us would love to come back and contribute and bring our education back home, but you also need to have the right opportunities
Wow.
so that you're not wasting.
We need you. I returned. I'm a diaspora returnee. I returned. Yeah, of course. I studied in Liverpool University. I've worked at Voice of America in Washington, D.C. I had a stint at CNN, and the many trips I've done. But then I said home is the best. I'm able to use my skills, my knowledge better at home, but I'm still global. You see, I'm local, but I'm daring abroad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
Because
yeah.
even moving home
Yeah,
is there.
it's daring.
It's,
yes.
I was talking to a friend who was telling me, now he's telling diasporians how to move home. And I said, what? It's like the expert. And then he says, you have to not make sure you don't have an apartment or a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sell everything so that you
Yeah.
don't go back.
Coming back
You
home
must
is
have
like reverse.
security.
It's like
Yeah.
reverse culture shock.
So
It
I
is,
ask
it
you,
is.
How was it for you
I've-
when you returned? Was it difficult?
No, because I had not stayed much. I would go
How
for
long were
short
you there?
periods. So like Voice of America, I was there for 3 months. At CNN, I was there for 1 month. Then I'd been going for short training courses, Reuters courses. But the longest was 1 year when I was doing my master's
Okay.
at the University of Liverpool. My master's is in politics and mass media. Man, that I had experienced culture shock. Everything is different. The weather, is not what you are used to. The food, I really longed to come back home. So for me, when I came back home, what I didn't like is now I'm used to systems that work. I'm used to merit.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm used to
most
You
return.
can see where the tax is going.
Yeah.
That could, from Liverpool to London, have some job to do there, part-time job. It's new, the train they were at.
Yeah.
So you asked me how it was for me. So I found it again so difficult.
Yeah.
Getting tuned back into our system, Even time management, I got used to where it's 8 is 8. We are meeting at 8. But then
Kenya
here,
is 9.
8 is probably 9. So, then the culture, the culture on the road, the traffic, nobody observes. So that again, but again, you get used to. So when I'm here, I know what to do, fit into the culture.
Yes.
When I'm abroad, I know what to do.
Wow.
You've become the interviewer
Yes.
on my show.
Because I was like, wow, I didn't even know you came back.
Yeah.
Exciting. But now adjusting here after being away for 17 years is hard.
Right.
But I love home. So the only problem with me is I love the village.
Yeah.
And you can't work from there really. But I do online stuff. I just come and I go to it because the fresh air, the good food, the cows.
What would you like to tell our viewers as we wind up? In a minute or less.
I think we just talked about the Kenyan economy and how things work and how you get culture shock when you come from the diaspora. I think what I would tell Kenyans is let's look at things, let's try to make systems work in our country, and let's observe things like merit because that's what will encourage our biggest GDP contributor, which is the diaspora, to contribute more and even to come back here and contribute.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a powerful parting shot.
Very, very good.
And the Daktari, again?
Thank you all for watching this show. I just want to say, for me, for my fellow diasporians, let's look back and see what we can do back home. There's so much to do. Let's always aspire to make a difference back home. This is our home. No matter where we go, Kenya will always be home, and there's something every single one of us can do. And for our Kenyans at home, please try your best to make this country better so we have a place to come back to.
Wow.
So that when we have all this education and experiences, we get excited to invest here and even to come back home and, you know, and be part of the economy and part of our communities.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Asanteni. Me as the host,
Asante.
missing a parting shot. But Kuzema, you know, I'm sure we've had a very rich discussion on the Maa culture, your role in the diaspora and so on. And when guys watch this, I'm sure the governor, everybody, even the president will watch this. Maybe watawapigia. Tumemaliza. Guys, thank you. Thank you for watching. What a show. Bye.